the big news from Thursday, which was Bill Belichick meeting with University of North Carolina officials. This was initially reported by Inside Carolina. Credit to them. One of the websites that covers North Carolina athletics. We were able to confirm that. And, I talked to a whole bunch of people yesterday in and around this situation, and it's certainly fascinating to see where this one could go. I think a few things are at play here. First, I think this is reflective of where Bill Belichick is. Badly wanting to coach next year. I had somebody earlier this week say to me, whether it's high school, college, or pro, he wants to coach, and he's going to coach in 2025. So he wants to get back to coaching. I think it's also an illustration of where some of the NFL jobs are. I don't think Bill is going to go in and want to reckon with somebody else's model. Like, I think if he's going into an NFL team, it's going to have to be like set up in a way that he's comfortable with. And that means he's not getting a team president being involved in football shoved down his throat. It means he's not going to inherit somebody else's general manager. That doesn't mean that he has to make every single personnel decision or that he's not willing to contract out some of the personnel decisions. But it does mean that at least the way I look at it, he's going to have people around him that he trusts, and he's going to have a model he believes in. And I think for him, looking around the landscape right now, the jobs that are open, comes the realization that these jobs are open for a reason, and sometimes the organizations that you'd be going to aren't perfect. It might be a long haul of a build, or you might have to, work with people that you aren't familiar with or you aren't comfortable with working with. And so, I think that the reality is, if you want the setup the way you want it, then going to the college game is probably more likely to afford you that. I think it's sort of a balance. I think he still wants to coach in the NFL, but I think if the NFL couldn't afford him that balance, then college would be worth looking at. I also think that, with him and people around him have really studied the college model and taken a really hard look at it. There is some level of belief that the NFL, the skill set of an NFL team builder is important in college now and can really help. And the college model has moved closer to the NFL, with the NIL being like the salary cap and the transfer portal being like free agency. He might have a chance to build a winner faster in college than he could do it in the pros. And again, he would be able to get total control. So I still think the likelihood is that he's in the NFL in 2025. But I wouldn't rule out the idea of college, with the challenge here being that the timelines really don't match up. College jobs are open now, and the NFL hiring cycle doesn't start for another 5 weeks. So there's just like a lot of moving parts here, but certainly an intriguing one to watch, and a lot to consider if you're Belichick.